This is how you are going to quit your job in 2025 with Amazon FBA. And I'm going to show you today exactly what it is you need to do and exactly what you need to avoid. So one common myth is that everyone these days needs to build up income through a job and then needs to invest it and have passive income. This is totally wrong. What you need to do is you need to build a fast-paced generating business that generates revenue, or even use a skill to help you generate fast income. And then you can start putting it into passive income and going from there. But generate a fast moving income stream to escape your job, to generate more than you can from your job with more time, more flexibility. And in my opinion, Amazon FBA is the perfect thing to start. Me, myself, went from £300 to 6 figures with Amazon FBA, and I'm going to show you what it is you need to do and how you can do it. Okay, so step one, how you can actually make money with Amazon FBA. Of course, you do need some money to start. So I would recommend, if you're someone who's young and you don't have a lot of savings, a lot of money, work a summer job, work a job that you can get a bit of money from, and then just save that money. You don't need to spend it. Don't get arrogant. Be humble. You don't need to invest it into your new Jordan 4s, your drip, and all of this stuff. That will come after. Be humble, live below your means, stack up some money, and then you need to learn a skill. So let's say now you have your £300 or your £500 to start with. Now you have to figure out how you're going to learn the skill. Now, in my opinion, it's best to invest in your learning. Now, you can get memberships to Discord communities like our one, which is £30. Imagine £30. You probably would have wasted that on Nando's. You can spend that to learn valuable knowledge, which can help scale you from £300. Like some of my students, who I'll put the results on the screen, have flipped £300 to now 10K in sales by just spending £30. So that is the next step for you. However, if you have a bit more money, let's say £1,000 plus, you would benefit from a one-to-one mentorship, potentially with me if you do qualify. And that will just help fast track your results. Like my student here, who did 25K in his first month. This was just through one-to-one mentorship. It's a lot more, personalized and a lot more fast-paced and a lot more one-to-one support. So the choice is yours, but figure out which one you want. And like I said, there's a solution for both options. So now, what model should you start with to begin with? Well, let's just start simple with arbitrage. Now, arbitrage involves selling products from retailers, whether that's going in store or buying online. And this is the best method to start with. Why? Because it's somewhat lower risk, and also it requires less minimum order value. So with wholesale and private label, you need to start with more than 1,500 at least. So with the other methods, you can start with a bit smaller and you can scale your way up slowly, and yeah, less risk involved as well. And it's a lot easier to understand and get your head around Amazon to start off with. So now I'm actually going to take you inside one of the retail stores where you should start off with when doing Amazon FBA, and then tell you how you can then transition to the online arbitrage method, which is just buying stuff from home. I'm going to show you now. This is how I started with my money. Let's go. So when it comes to retail arbitrage, what you want to do is you want to find yourself a store like Smith's, for example. So we're in Smith's right now, and you want to go and look for branded items, branded products. Try and avoid things like this that were in these heavy items. These do look pretty cool, but these on Amazon are quite a headache. A lot of the time, these brands aren't even on Amazon. Now, when you're more experienced, you can learn to leverage that as well. However, you want to stick to the brands that you know. Now, one thing you'll find, and I've spoken about this before, is a lot of the products will require approval. Now, don't panic. This is just part of being a beginner. There's ways to get around that. That's something we can discuss in the community, for example, in my free guides about how to get around that. But generally, you just want to look for branded items, things you might have bought when you were younger, and go from there. Now, you only really need 2 softwares when starting, Seller Amp and Keeper. That's pretty much all you need as a beginner. And like I said, if you're someone who wants to start and generate money quick without having too many expenses, then you want to use things like discount codes that I've got in SS University, for example, with Seller Amp. You get free trials, you get 50% off, etc. You don't need things like a software pricing management. You don't need something that's going to tell you your profits. You can manually work that out by looking at Amazon. Try and keep things quite cost efficient at the start, especially with low capital. Even if you've got £1,000, just keep it cost efficient, focus on profit. It's going to help you scale a bit faster. And then when you need to automate certain things, then go and get it. But like I said, comfortable with understanding that profit is the most important. Don't try and just splash money for fun when you don't need to. Focus on investing in the right things, the mentorship, the softwares, and that's it. So online arbitrage now is a little bit different to retail arbitrage. As you can see, we went into the store, we're picking up products, we're scanning products in store. Online is where you can do it from the comfort of your home, which is why it's so good. Now, online arbitrage, a little thing that I would advise is thinking outside the box. I keep saying it, but don't be generic and go through clearance sites of products that maybe don't have as much demand. Going through Boots clearance all year round isn't always going to satisfy sort of your needs, in the sense of you're not going to be getting consistent profits from those products monthly without them getting leaked. Most people have workers who are going through that all the time. So think a bit outside the box. Maybe choose a category that you solely focus on. Get to know the suppliers online. You can actually negotiate with online arbitrage suppliers, which a lot of people don't know about, and that actually gives you leverage as well. So get to know the suppliers that you're getting your products from, get to know the niches, and go from there. And often leverage seasonal opportunity all the time. There's certain ways to do that. Then also feel comfortable with spending money on loads of different products, because you're online arbitrage. You're rarely going to be able to get loads of one product. You need to get multiple products and spend multiple amounts on each one. Try and have a good hit rate as well. In my opinion, there's no point having dead products sitting in your inventory. But yeah, you can definitely scale this to 6 figures. You can scale online arbitrage to 6 figures, even past 6 figures. It's a very good business model. But like I said, it does require time. So you need to automate it a little bit, maybe get a virtual assistant, maybe have a prep center as well, and that can help with things. There's also Amazon to Amazon as well, which is within that, but we can discuss that a bit more another time. But yeah, online arbitrage and retail is definitely a good way to start. Don't think that it's saturated. Don't give up so early. The more you do it, the better you're going to become at it and the more money you're going to make. Okay, so now the next method that I scaled up with once I got to a substantial amount of money with arbitrage, around £2,000, was Amazon wholesale. Now this involves buying in bulk. Now when I started, it was a little bit different. You could afford to buy from generic distributors and get your way around going to local distributors. However, things have changed a little bit. Now it's more centered on going to brands directly and working with brands directly, which means you need a bit more capital to start, and also doing exclusivity, which is being the only seller who sells that brand on Amazon. Now around £2,000 is a good start. You could even start with just under 1.5k, but I would start with sort of that range, because then you can also get mentored. Me myself, I got mentored for Amazon wholesale. Mentorship is always going to help you, so that's something that you'd want to invest in and then go from there. So an example of Amazon wholesale is where, let's say you have Nivea and you need to go to Nivea directly and go and stock their product. Now the reason why this model is good is, one, you can buy a large amount of units, and two, larger amount of units means that you can get better discounts and better quantity deals, and then also you will then create relationships with those suppliers. It's recurring income per month compared to arbitrage, whereas arbitrage you need to kind of find new deals. Deals die out a lot of the time seasonally as well, whereas wholesale is quite reliable, but because it's reliable, it takes longer to find deals. So you just need to know what you're doing, invest your time, invest your capital, and you'll be okay. But this is what will help you scale and automate your business a bit more. And remember, automation allows you then to work on other things. Then you can start looking to scale your cash flow stream even better. Now, after doing wholesale, you should be able to have got to maybe 6 figures in revenue, for example, which is a good amount of money. Now, in my opinion, once you get to that level, you then have to get VAT registered as well. So a lot more things come into play that you need to understand, business related. So what I would say is, at that point, you are now quite qualified to give advice, to teach, to showcase what you do. And this brings me back to a point of building a personal brand. Now, we're not just speaking about Amazon FBA here. Amazon FBA is the skill that you want to learn to create fast moving income, but also building a personal brand will always benefit you. So one thing I'll say to everyone here is, if you're going to start Amazon FBA, why not document your journey? What do you have to lose? In essence, it also keeps you accountable. When I did it, it kept me accountable. When I wasn't getting results and I had to document my journey, people were asking how it's going. It keeps you grounded, it keeps you accountable. And again, you're working for something long term. Building a personal brand is something that you yourself are a money machine. Just you, people will reach out to you, people will pay you. You want to be someone who is valuable as well. And this is how you don't get replaced by things like AI, and you always have that money machine ability. So this is something I recommend as well, building a personal brand alongside Amazon FBA, and then also being qualified to teach. Don't start teaching or giving advice when you're not qualified yet, or charging for advice. You can give yourself a bad reputation. Get the knowledge first, have results with students, and then start maybe, you know, doing the mentorship route and things like that. So now it comes to quitting your job. Now this can feel quite difficult. And even like, for example, me who dropped out of uni and quit my job, it can feel like everything's coming together, but also you're close to everything falling apart. Don't think like that. Think that you have got a big opportunity now to showcase what it is you can do and leverage that to help build more income, like I'm saying, fast moving income, and build a sustainable business for yourself, and have confidence in yourself as well. You're the only person that can believe in yourself. Your mind is the only thing that is going to be on your side. So have faith in yourself, believe in yourself, leave that job if it's not paying you. Remember, you get time freedom as well, which can help you start new businesses, new opportunities, and network and things like that. So have confidence in yourself, leave that job. They don't care about you. They're not paying you well. Well, if they are paying you well, then you can keep it for a while and then move on. But I would get out of there as soon as possible, like I did, and just start working full time on your business. So that is my advice, how you're going to quit your job in 2025, starting Amazon FBA. I've told you how you can leverage a personal brand, do Amazon FBA wholesale and arbitrage, and how you can get yourself a banging M240i for yourself if you like BMW. And that's everything from me for today. And make sure to like and subscribe and drop a comment. Do you want to quit your job in 2025? And if you do so, then we're going to help you do it. Let's make this happen.